and it's changed my life, it's changed my son's life. Something just happened inside me, I can't explain it. I realised that I actually was able to walk into a gym and train without being triggered.
If you need a reminder of what mindfulness is, there's no better way than to hear people talking about some of their challenges and how they've overcome that. I think it's important. Why don't you share just a little bit about why did you first start with me, and what was your reason for that?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. I haven't written anything down. I first started with mindfulness. I was actually living in my car while I was training with my son. I have got PTSD, ADHD, everything spiraled out of control. And then I started with you a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. You know, there were a few traits. You mentioned that there was, especially as it relates to fighting, why was it causing you a problem in your fights?
Because my PTSD was always getting in the way of me getting back into the ring.
Yeah. And you say that you'd get really angry in a fight, so rather than technique, it would just be your anger, right?
Them and taking off my gloves and telling the ref about themselves and stuff, which I'm not proud of, but in that moment, I had no control. But when I started doing mindfulness, I all of a sudden had the power of choice that I never had before. I had the choice to make the decision to stay on the right side, not go to the left side.
You mentioned that you were taking a lot of medication for the PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think it was really important because you stopped taking that medication. So explain like how long it took you to stop and why did you stop?
After I did the first time with you, I decided to do exposure therapy. I decided to do shock therapy. I spent a lot of money on that. I wasn't able to do it through the NHS at the time. And then something just happened inside me. I can't explain it. I realised that I actually was able to walk into a gym and train without being triggered. I was able to go shopping without wanting to beat someone up. I was able to behave in the manner as society says. But obviously, I'm not saying it's gone, but even today, it takes a lot of double breathing, but I'm actually able to walk in rooms where before probably wouldn't even be invited, to be honest with you. And I think after I'd done the mindfulness review, I still consistently had all my fights being cancelled because I had that stigma on me, she's just angry. And it wasn't that, it was for me to be able to do something for myself, the mindfulness. And it's changed my life, it's changed my son's life. And I think the first time we noticed about myself, I picked up my son from school and we were sitting on the train and he said to me, Mum, this is lovely. And I was like, what? He goes, just look at the rain. I know it sounds very stupid for everyone, but I've never had that choice of being able to just be present for a second. Even presently, right now, it's a constant survival. I suppose fight and flight. That's all I've ever known, but I'm starting to break that pattern and slowly, like with changing gyms as well. I hope to get back in the ring on the 2nd.
Yeah, so if you were like, what are some of the key takeaways? If you had to like now explain it to someone else, this is what mindfulness is and this is the benefits. Why don't you, what are the benefits? Give me 2 or 3.
It's the power of choice to choose between living or not. It sounds dramatic, but it's not. As we know, I had given up on life because that constant feeling of having panic attacks, being on the edge consistently. Sorry.
No. These are real emotions,
I ain't got no emotions. I think for me, mindfulness, we was doing it for 10 minutes at the moment. I'm having to do it, I'll be honest with you, 4 to 5 times a day. But knowing that I'm able to do it and I'm able to go to train, I'm able to have a good night's sleep. Like there'd be days, like weeks where I would not sleep because of my PTSD.
Maybe I'll end on a few words. Like,
please.
The transformation has been remarkable because, one of the issues Jazz shared with me is that she'd work towards something, then bail at the last minute, whether it was a fight or whether it was something important, or especially when something good's going on. And so now this total turnaround, where sometimes she'll call me in tears saying, this is too hard, and then
You have to tell him that.
No, but I want to be real. But then and she would correct herself, and then the next day apply the mindfulness, and just generally, it's an upward pattern now. And so she found a new gym, a new coach, new positivity. So anyway, just I'm gonna get a round of applause for Jazz and her progress.